Hello, my beautiful friends. It is Tuesday with the Make Paper Art Design team, and I am bringing you a scrapbook layout that is a fun cut file over in their Etsy shop that is called Snowman Party. And it's just a bunch of fun snowmen that are upside down and right side up, and I decided to make a background out of it. So I took a bunch of my scraps and some Project Life cards, and I just kind of go to town trimming out each one of these little circles to back this cut file. And I'm mainly keeping to pinks, reds, and purples. And so the entire background there you're going to see is going to come along like magic, and I'm going to be finished, and it's going to be beautiful because I love how it turned out. So this was a super fun cut file to use, and I may use it again. I don't do a lot of like winter layouts just because I live in Texas, and so it doesn't usually look very wintry here. It's just kind of drab and boring and brown, and there's no like changing colors of the leaves or beautiful snow flurries or anything like that. It's either wet and gloomy and yucky with brown grass, or just kind of cold. So I decided that this old piece of paper, I don't even know where I mean, it was in my stash from forever ago, had this beautiful purple color to it, and I thought it just went very well with the photograph and also with the pinks and purples. And I'm going to pop that entire background up to give it some dimension. At first I thought about doing little, like half-inch spots. And then I was like, well, why do that? They're all lined up. I'll just go all the way down. And I wanted to leave some places open in case I wanted to tuck in some things, but I didn't end up tucking things underneath really anyway. So this was enough to pop it up, and I think it gave it great dimension. And I'm also gonna, add the photo down towards the bottom, but I'm gonna leave a little bit of space between the bottom and the top because I do want to add a little bit of color at the bottom, just to bring in a little more visual composition. So here I'm just taking like some more of my scraps. This is part of the wildflowers paper, and I'm going, at first I thought, well, I'm gonna just cut it and tear it like I normally do, but this was such a bold layout that tearing it didn't look right to me, so I didn't like it. And I go back and pull that off, and I trim it where there are no tears. And I end up putting a tear at the bottom at the end, and I'm not sure I like it, but for whatever reason I wasn't feeling the tear thing. So I trim that and I fix it, and I just use that scrap from Cheeky, and I think that pink is Melissa Francis. So that tells you it's white on the back, so it's kind of old. What else do? I interviewed that frame and that white acetate, but I didn't end up using those. I did take that little strip of red and add it just to the right of the photo. And see, that just kind of got lost there, so I didn't really care for that. But the red helped add a little bit of a foundation. It was kind of getting lost with those lighter colors, so I do like that little pop of red on the right side. So what else do I say? Oh, I think I start trying to embellish. And I know I've been going through some of my older stash and weeding things out, but I had this Teresa Collins fabrication line, and these are just punched out parts, and I was trying to figure out if I should put them on the bottom. There's one that's like a tag, and there's one that's like a border, and I do end up putting that little border strip down, and it gives the picture somewhere to rest, so it's not just floating. And it was a good way to use that old punched out cardstock. So that's not really my style anymore, but I'm finding that I can use some elements from things like that. So instead of just giving it away, I'm going to use what I can. And some of them are just basic, you know, they don't have flourishes or anything. Like that little tag right there, it's just a basic purple and white tag, and I'm going to tuck it up at that little corner. And so you can usually use things that are not too embellished. I desperately wanted to use this Snow and Cocoa sticker set, but I don't end up using it. And I'm looking at this Cocoa Vanilla Bohemian, I believe it's Bohemian Rhapsody collection. It's a chipboard, and at first I thought I wanted the word happy, but I don't end up using that. And I'll come back to that and you'll see what I do, but I do end up pulling some elements from that chipboard. Here I grabbed the lovely Norwegian wood ephemera from Cap Martin's Designs, and you can buy those over in the Cheeky Studio shop. We also have her paper line, so I just think it's gorgeous, and I have been using it like crazy, and I'm going to do a layout. I think my next layout will just be using that product. Well, I mean, I'll add other things to it, but the main focus is going to be just using that Norwegian wood line and see what I can do with it, because I've got a few more pictures like this of me and True and me and Bab on my 50th birthday, because we went out to eat and we were kind of dressed up a little bit. I mean, for us, we were kind of dressed up. And so I took several pictures, and True and I were both wearing burgundy that night. And when she asked me what I was wearing, our outfits were almost identical. It was kind of hilarious. So I just think that the ephemera and the papers in the Norwegian wood are going to go really well with the colors of my birthday pictures from me and Bab and me and True. And so I tried to tuck in some thread up at the top, and also you saw me tuck it in that corner. I do keep it in that corner, but the top, I don't know, it's like I did tuck in that tag a little bit, and the thread was just kind of looking like a wreck up there. I either love the way thread lies or I just can't stand it. And I guess that right there was okay, but I don't know. It just, I was like, forget it. I'm not using it. I give up. I don't have that Missy Wooden gift of thread, so I just do me. So here's where I bring in that chipboard, and I love the little birdie. I'm going to keep that up there, and I'm going to start pulling the word happy off. And I can't ever get chipboard off of the backing unless it tears the chipboard. I don't know what that is. I've got, out of that entire word happy, I got one that was actually had sticky on it. The rest I tore into the chipboard. I don't know if it's me or the way it's made, but I just can't ever get it to come off right. So I end up gluing it down. But the word happy had yellow in it, a little like it was an ombre pinked yellow. And as much as I love that, it just seemed to be getting lost in the, cut file, because the cut file is so busy and the word happy is ombre and light. So I'm going to reach for that puffy sticker that says happy. You can see there on the left. And I'm going to add that instead because it's going to make a bolder statement. It's going to stand out from that background that I've created. So you'll see me switch those out here in a second. I did use that circle chipboard that says Love Life. And I think I pull some hearts from that chipboard. And I'm going to put those on the page as well. So just doing my little embellishment clusters like I like to do. But I didn't want the title to get lost, and so I think that word happy matches much better. And I'm also going to interview a couple of alphabets and numbers for 50th and birthday, and I kind of had trouble getting that to work, but I think I worked it out in the end. I did keep it black and white, which I thought I was going to use those purple letters there from Maggie Holmes from the Willow collection, but they got lost on the page too. So I'm going to stick with black and white. I think maybe I did find one sticker. Was this I do end up using one long sticker underneath True and I's photo. I think it did come from Snow and Cocoa, but that was the only thing I got to use out of that entire sticker set. And I'm trying to remember what it says. It's something sweet, so I can't remember what it says. But as you can see, the color matched very well. And as much as I wanted to use some more of those stickers, I just couldn't find placement for them, so I gave up on that. And I wanted this page to be special because it was in celebration of my birthday. And, you know, you don't turn 50 every day, so I have left my 40s behind, and it's kind of bittersweet. I like the experience of age, and I like the growth of age, and I just don't like the degeneration of age. So as much as it's so like, it's a shame. You learn all of these things, you experience all these things, you grow into this person, you progress in life, you make, you know, life gets easier, you overcome all these challenges, but your body is like fighting you. So this is why I stay in the gym. I mean, and I eat really healthy because I'm so scared of the degeneration of age. And of course it happens to everyone. I mean, you can't help it, right? That's just the way it is. But I have a lot of family members that just don't care, and they're very unhealthy and very obese. And, you know, my dad passed away from cardiovascular heart disease, you know, just because he didn't eat properly and he didn't exercise. And I don't get it. I watched these family members and I think, bless your heart. I love life so much, and I don't want to have failing health, especially younger than I am now. Like, I have cousins that are younger than me, and they're in terrible shape because they smoke and they eat poorly and they never go to the gym. And it seems like they literally seem like they're 15 years older than me, and are 20, and they're like 5 and 8 years younger than me. So I'm going to fight it tooth and nail. I tell you, I am going to fight, and I am going to stay in the gym. I'm actually working on my personal trainer's license right now. I'm not in the best shape, and I don't know what that is. I think it's just because I do have wine on occasion, and I've gotten older, and I know I have like low thyroid. Maybe I need my thyroid, checked again. And I've been working on that, and I'm working with the doctor on that. So maybe that's part of it, but it's really, really tough to get weight off at this age and to stay lean and to keep your lean muscle mass. Because you start to lose lean muscle mass after 30, and so you gotta keep working it, and I'm determined to keep working it. So I am just gonna push through. I always wanted to learn everything a personal trainer knew. Also a nutritionalist, dietitian, things of that nature. It's just always been a hobby of mine. So I'm excited to get that certification, and it will be a nationally recognized one. So I'm hoping to do that within the next month, like on top of everything else I do. It's not like I don't run a small business and have a BAB and, my daughters. And it's like I just put so much on myself. It's ridiculous. But that's how I've always been, and I'll always be that way. It's a life of learning and progressing. So It's just kind of me. Oh, it says joy and happiness. That's what it says. There you go. So I know I've rambled on and spoke about things you probably weren't that interested in, but I just enjoy sharing my time with you and chatting with you. And so that is the final layout. I do really, really appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please give me a thumbs up and use my discount code, which is Tuesday10 over at the Make Paper Art Etsy store, and get you this cute file. I loved it. It was super fun. I've got other ideas for it too. So until next time, ta-ta for now. Bye.